Me today. My name is Seth Dunn, and I would like to share with you today a little bit about an event that we're doing at Open Fields Church in May 11th to be specific. I'm excited about this event. We don't do things at Open Fields Church just to do them. We do them because we feel like they bring value and because they can lend to people's journey, right? And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about today is that we've been given a life to live. And this life that we've been given to live is truly a journey, right? It's a journey that God has given to us. And it's a life to live that God has given to us, literally. And I could go off on that right there. Those of you that follow us at all know that we love to teach on the gospel and the amazing goodness of God's grace and the life that He's given us through Jesus. I mean, it's absolutely astounding, right? But I'm not here today to go into that so much, but to talk more generally about this life that we've been given and the journey of it and the discovery of it can be such a joy. It also comes with challenges, right, and difficulties and things that well, can I just say we get to navigate, because there's things that come our way that are challenging. And so whether life is on the upside of some of these things or on the more challenging side, either way, literally either way, we have a life to live, a life that God has given us. And to me, that is such a joy. Within that, there's a lot of growing and learning that needs to take place, right? We don't all know everything. There's the saying that I don't know what I don't know, right? And so, Sandra and I certainly are on a quest personally for our own lives. And we're trying to inspire those of you that are watching on YouTube and those that come to Open Fields Church to our meetings physically here in Colorado, to inspire you to learn, to grow, to pursue God and know Him, to dig into His Word, and to use tools, to get there, to understand this amazing life, choosing to grow. We're not going to grow, we're not going to learn by accident. It's a choice you make. You don't accidentally go to college. It's a very purposeful decision. It's the same thing in our spiritual life. You can just go about your day, do your thing, go to work, eat your food, do your thing, and nothing wrong with a lot of that. We should all very much enjoy those activities in life, but also to grow and to learn and to change. And we need that process in our lives in order to fully enjoy the journey and to live out fully what it is God's given us, right? Because much of what God has given us, it's up to us to tap into, right? It's been given as a free gift to live the fullness of the life that God has given us through Jesus. And yet so much of that, if we don't renew our minds and develop that in our hearts, we're not going to enjoy the fullness of what He's freely given. So there's tools that are helpful in that process. And over the years, we've used a lot of tools. Now, the first tool and by far the most important tool that we must always go back to and must be our foundation, of course, is the Word of God. No question, hands down, right? The Word of God is our tool of choice. There's other tools along the way that are helpful. So we are doing on May 11th at Open Fields Church in Colorado. We will also be recording this event, by the way. We will not go live that day, but we'll make it available at a later date. But on May 11th, we will be doing what we are calling an Enneagram praxis. Now, the Enneagram, what is it? It's a tool. That's all it is. There's nothing special or great about it other than it's a useful tool. We're going to spend some time at this Enneagram praxis discovering what does that mean? What kind of tool is it? What does it bring that helps us in the discovery and the growing and the learning process as we endeavor to live out this life that God has given us, right? So we'll be unpacking that. That's what we'll be doing. So if you'd like to know a little more about yourself, you may have already heard us say that I think one of the great things about this tool is it really helps you drill down into the motive of why you are the way you are. Why do you behave and think and do the things that you do? That motive back behind that is very helpful to see, because once you see that motive, it empowers you further to be able to grow and learn and improve and change, right? So it's just a tool. We're going to dig into it. What does praxis mean? Praxis is taking truth and putting it into practical application, bringing it into our lives in a way that we can use it in a useful manner. It doesn't do any good to have a tool sitting there and not know how to use it, right? I have a farming and a construction background, and I can tell you, tools are amazing. They are so helpful. But when you don't know how to use that tool, the value goes down significantly, right? A couple of quick things, and then I'll end this video. But a couple of quick things that have been in the discovery process for me personally that have been helpful is if you had asked me, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, if I was an emotional person, if I carried a lot of emotion, I would have said, no, not really. Well, what I've discovered, and the tool of the Enneagram has been helpful in this, is I'm actually highly emotional. I just don't know what that emotion is. So getting down to understanding that emotion and understanding how that drives me, understanding, going back to that motivation, that I do have emotional motivations that are driving me. I didn't know that before. Now I do. And now I get the joy and the pain of digging into that, discovering it. But in the end, even the painful parts of it, oh man, it's brought such a richness to my life to understand I am an emotional being, partly because I'm creating God's image, but just I do have a lot of deep emotion. It just takes me some effort to tap into it, and I'm learning how to do that. Did you hear that? I'm learning how, right? I'm not perfect at this, but I'm learning how. And that's been very, very helpful to me. Another thing that the Enneagrams helped me see and understand is that I hate failure. And sometimes I'll call things failure or put the definition of failure on things that I really shouldn't because I perceive it as failure. And so I'll avoid failure at all cost. Now, it's not all bad. Who wants to fail, right? Nobody probably likes failure, but sometimes it's had me where I was stuck, and I had a hard time, pressing into things and taking advantage of opportunities and stuff because I was afraid, well, there could be failure over here. And I would avoid it at a cost that didn't make sense, right? So it's nice to be able to call that out and be able to say, hey, listen, yeah, there's opportunity or potential of failure here, but there's also a huge potential for success, so it's worth the risk, right? See, these are just a couple of things for me that have been helpful. For you, it'll be different. So I would encourage you to join us if you can be here in Colorado and come on May 11th. The doors will open at 8:30. We will end by 3 o'clock on May 11th. So we'll spend the day here together. We do want you to register, so go to openfieldschurch.com and you'll see under events, you can register for the event. There is a small fee, but we're providing lunch and some snacks and so forth, and a full day of training. So it's going to be a great adventure. It could be a great tool in your life and a great time of discovery and add to that learning and growing process for you as you endeavor to live out the fullness of the life that God has for you. You notice even behind me right there, it says life is a journey. Right? There's so much for us to be able to enjoy and dig into. And that's what this Enneagram Praxis on May 11th is about. So, hey, we invite you to join us. Thank you for watching today. God bless you. And I'll see you again on the next video.